Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another weekly outlook video. So as usual, I've gone through the pairs here on the right. Kind of had a quick scan to see what I think looks interesting for the upcoming week and the weeks ahead. So I've already highlighted those and we'll just kind of go through them. All right, so this trade here on AUDCAD, this is a trade I took on Friday. It was taken on the daily time frame. Obviously, we're in this massive uptrend. Price broke past this previous major resistance level here. Broke past it a couple weeks ago, or I guess a couple months ago. Kind of almost came back to retest it, but didn't quite. And then finally came back to retest it, retested with rejection last week. So I waited a little while to see what price did at the level. So I didn't want to enter quite, just directly on the level. I just wanted to see that rejection and, initial bounce. So, we'll see what this trade does. It might, yes, it has formed a lower low. This low is lower than this low. So it has formed a lower low on the daily time frame. And it's also actually broken this kind of trend line just here, right? So we have this trend line here that was broken, but it didn't really break it that impulsively, right? It just kind of meandered past the trend line, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for at least a bounce off of this level, probably a retest of the broken trend line, kind of maybe at these levels. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Obviously I'm already in the trade, so we'll see how it plays out. If we do get the bounce, then I'll be happy. If we don't get the bounce, then it's all good. I'll take another step out. But for me, it still looks okay. Next trade I'm looking at is AUDCHF. So if you drop to the on the daily time frame, we're obviously in this massive uptrend, right? So if we look on the H4 time frame, we have this trend line here that has been respected for quite some time. And this week we got a nice bounce off of this trend line. So, and it kind of had this support level as well, right? There's no immediate setups for me on this pair, but what I'll be looking for kind of in this week or upcoming week is maybe a break of this kind of minor level here. See if it makes a high past this level, and then I'll also be paying attention obviously to this this high just here, right? So if prices to continue in bullish momentum for me, we might see it pull down, test the trend line, break above, kind of do something like that, right? And if we see that kind of bullish structure starting to form, then I'd probably look at one of these levels to get some kind of an entry. This might be a nice level just here. If we get that break back above these highs, pull back in to test it, maybe in confluence with the trend line, something like that would be interesting for me. So I'll just be keeping my eye on it. AUDJPY, kind of similar, but it's actually at the level right now. So it depends on how the market opens. Then, I typically don't take trades on Sundays, but depending on how it opens, I'll probably pay some attention to it. It's not 100% clear with this kind of level. This level here that I have drawn in, we have these wicks that rejected it, but it also kind of broke past the level, right? So I guess if I want to be, maybe that's the level, right? So maybe that's a little bit more more well respected, right? So the original pullback I was looking for, if you can see, I don't know how clear it would be, but I have an alert here. This orange line, this dotted orange line is where I had my alert set, which was just to kind of have the retest of these minor highs here together with the trend line, right? So I was looking for that price to just pull back just a little bit deeper, but it didn't. We found support here by where it previously rejected with these wicks, and we had that nice impulsive move off of the level. So it's now come back and it's rejected for quite a while, right? Because this is a forward time frame. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have what, 4 rejections of the level on the forward time frame together with the trend line and together with this previous support level. So if price is going to continue bearish, then it's going to take a lot of momentum to push price lower. And if that does happen, then that's fine. But if it does reject and it holds the level, then I may be interested in taking a trade at this level. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. So the trade will look something like that for me. Stop spin at the level, targeting previous highs. All right, so something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it sets up and how the market opens. AUDUSD. So same kind of deal, right? So AUDUSD. Well, I guess this one isn't 100% clear, but we are in this uptrend, right? We've been in this uptrend for a while. More recently, yes, price has kind of been, I guess, in the last couple of weeks have been ranging just here. And we also had this massive momentum sell move, right? But it did form, it did find support here for one reason or the other, right? It did break below, it broke below that level, but it tested it as resistance, again, and then it broke back above, came back down, tested it as support. This is where I formed this most recent trend line, right? These are the 2 levels I'm looking at just for the start of the trend line. At a massive momentum move above the level, breaking these highs, and it's now slowly correctively moved back into the trend line, kinda in confluence with the zone. It's not 100% clear, but I don't know, we'll see. I just think it's interesting. It's at an interesting point. Obviously I'll be looking for long positions. What I may do for this trade, if it does set up, I'll probably look at the lower time frames. And probably just look at these kind of minor levels, right? So we have this minor high here. We also have this minor high here. All right, so if this trade does set up, and a setup for me would probably look like, maybe like a pull back into the trend line, show some rejection, all right, and then break above these highs here, retest it, and then maybe do something like that, right? I don't know. So if I see some nice rejection at one of these levels, be it the trend line, be it this upon the break of these highs, I'll make some trading decisions if and when these things happen, right? But this is what I'll probably be looking for on this pair, and see if we get that nice bounce off of this trend line, and maybe even target these previous highs here. All right, so this will probably be my first target. Second target will probably be up here. But yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on it and see if it sets up. CADCHF. So this one's pretty simple. I'm just looking for price to kind of pull back into these broken highs just here. So we had price obviously in this massive uptrend for quite some time. So I'll just be looking for long positions. We had this high that was formed. It was impulsively broken, but never retested. So I'll just be looking for price to pull back into this level just here, which is where I have my alert. It's finding support here and lots of rejection for some reason. But this is the level, this is the trading level I'm interested in because of this impulsive break after this moment of struggle. So I'm just waiting to see if price comes back to the level. If it does, then I'll be looking for a long position. If it does break lower for whatever reason, if it does continue, if it breaks higher, then I'll be looking for it to break past these highs, and then I'll look for levels above here. So if it breaks past these highs, then I would, so if it just continues on from here, I'd look for break of the highs, retest, and then look for long positions. If it pulls back into this level, I'll look for rejection here, then look for long positions. But if for some reason it just continues bearishly, then I'd be looking for price to pull all the way back to this level here, which would be a retest of these broken highs. And then I'd look for that kind of long position, right? So So that's what I'll be looking for on this pair anyway. CADJPY, same sort of deal. I don't have an alert on this one, but I ought to set one. Add alert. Okay, so I'll just add an alert here to see if price wants to pull back into this level. If it does, I'll be looking for rejection here at the level and then look for that continued bullish move. Same kind of analysis as the previous pair. If it doesn't find support at this level, then I'll be looking at this kind of level just here, right, which would be a previous daily level. Right, so if price does manage to break lower, then I'll be looking for price to find support here, and then I'll look to trade in opportunities. Euro AUD, this is just a trade I'm managing still. You know, it did meet my final target here, which is where I closed off the majority of my position. But I have a very small position still in this, just because I see a lot more potential downside for this pair. So I'll just hold on to that last little bit of the position and see if it wants to continue moving lower. EURCAD. Okay, so for this pair we have price has obviously been in this massive downtrend for a while, but this week what we saw was a break of this kind of steep trend line, right, together, I guess a double bottom or possible W formation, right? So we have this sell that's happening here. Let me just get rid of this for now. This is a trade I took last week, which stopped out. But you know what we see in here, we have this massive sell that's happening. But then we found support here. We then have price forming kind of this double bottom right here with rejection, breaking the trend line. Right, so it broke this longer term trend line and is now testing this level here as support with this rejection. Right, so we could see something like this take place. Right, pull back into this kind of level here. I don't know if I'll be trading this. I'll be waiting for a confirmed series of higher highs and higher lows before I get involved in taking long positions on this. But you know, we might probably very well see a reversal happening at this level. So I'll just keep an eye on it. I just think it's at an interesting place. It's probably a little bit clearer on the 1 hour time frame to see. So yeah, so we have the level here. This is a level when it broke impulsively. I was trading it at this level here, which didn't work out. Price broke above. It did ultimately sell eventually, but you know, it obviously stopped me out before it did. Right, but then we had this nice strong impulsive break of the trend line, which is very clearly respected, and is now testing that exact level as support and rejected it. So if we start to see a break of these highs right here, so you can already see we have your lower high, we have your low, we got another lower high just here, and then technically this low is it? Yes, it is higher, right? So this will be a first kind of sign of a higher low, right? Because I'll just draw a ray on this low just here. See, price never really got back to that level, but you know, so I call it a double bottom. It's not really a higher low, but you know, let's call it equal lows for now. But more importantly, we formed a higher high, and now we actually even formed a higher low. So what I'll be looking for is a confirmed higher high somewhere around here, right? And then start that new uptrend, and you know, maybe I'll start looking for long positions. But you know, it's something I'll be looking at. I just think, as I said, it's interesting, so I'll just be keeping an eye on it. I'll just move on to EURJPY. So this isn't a trade that I'm in, but you can see here on EURJPY we're in this massive uptrend. We've been in it for a while, so I'll be looking for long positions. Here on the H4 time frame, we have this very well respected trend line just here, and price is currently back at this broken level here. It broke impulsively. It did pull into the level, but not quite, but it actually did pull into the level and started rejecting. However, it also did break the trend line. So as I said, I'm not in this position. We might very well see a continued move higher. So I'll just be kind of keeping an eye on it to see what it does at the level. If it respects the level, maybe breaks back above the trend line. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting level, something to pay attention to. And yeah, I might, depending on what the market does when it opens, you know, I might make a trading decision. And see how it goes. So I'll just be keeping an eye on it. Then I'll move on to GBPUSD. All right, so for GBPUSD, we have on the daily time frame, I have this massive uptrend. It's been an uptrend for a while, so I'll just be looking for long positions. But then we have here this recently broken level, right? This is the level I'm interested in trading. It broke impulsively on the daily with this candle just here, this impulsive candle just here, and it never really retested the level. And then price obviously pushed higher and is now making a very slow corrective retracement. So what I'll be looking for, we have this kind of trend line here, just connecting this wick, this initial wick here to this wick here, and just pulling it into the future. Kind of lines up nicely with the broken level. So if we get a push back into this level, I have an alert set. If I see some rejection, then I'll be interested in taking a long position. We also have this other longer term trend line just here. So we very well might see price kind of trickle all the way back into this trend line. I don't know, it might just very well range for a while, who knows. But those are the levels I'll be interested in. Well, this is the level I'll be interested in, and those are the two trend lines that I'll be interested in. But yeah, I think it looks like an interesting setup. NZDJPY. So on this pair, it's very similar to AUDJPY. We have, obviously, we've been in this uptrend for a while. We have this very well respected trend line, right? So if I just neaten this up a little bit here, maybe like so. So I mean, yes, the trend line was broken, but we also have this level just here, right? This is an interesting level for me. And price is rejecting the level, is quite clearly struggling at the level. So I'll just wait to see what it does. It very well might kind of be forming this, maybe like a bearish kind of flag, something like this, right? So we very well might see that happen here because as I said, we did break the trend line. So I don't know, we'll see. It's an interesting position for me, so I'll be keeping an eye on it. Just like all the other JPY pairs, they're all setting up very similarly. So it depends on what it does when the market opens. You know, I'll just be keeping an eye on it. USDCHF. All right, so this trade, well, this was a trade I would have taken, but I didn't take it because the level was a little bit vague for me. But it did respect the trend line, right? It then broke above this kind of descending trend line, right? It broke above it here last week and is currently retested. It retested it as support. So we very well might see a continued move higher. As I said, this was something I was looking at. I didn't take the position, but you know, it would have worked out. It would have worked out nicely. Get rid of that actually. All right. So what I might look for on this pair, kind of have these highs here being formed. So I'll just probably look for maybe price to either pull back into this level, break above, come back, retest, and then I'd probably look for long positions around this level. So yeah, it might take some time for that to play out. So I just have it highlighted in red, but you know, it's something I'll be keeping my eye on. And then last pair for the week, actually, no, I'm not looking for anything on USDCAD. I was looking for trades on USDCAD this previous week. because we've been in this downtrend, and I was looking at these lows just here, right? So I was looking for short positions on this pair upon a break of this level just here. We broke it quite impulsively, so I was looking for it to kind of come back up to the level and reject, but it never did, right? It just kind of blew past the level, and obviously it's just moving higher. So I don't know, so it was something I was looking at last week, but nothing set up, and I just probably didn't update the chart. So that's so I'm not really looking for anything on this pair. And yeah, I think that wraps up the kind of analysis or outlook for the week. Yeah, it's nothing, like, there's nothing for me that looks 100% clear, but there are levels of interest that I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on and see what kind of price does at the levels, right? And just look for some confirmations, look for some trade entries, and if these things set up, then hopefully you'll get back on the winning train for the weeks and months ahead. But yeah, also a lot of these pairs have been in uptrends for quite some time, so I'm expecting some form of a deeper correction to happen at some point, right? So I mean, we've been in this uptrend for quite some time, so we very well might see some kind of a retracement or correction on a lot of the pairs. So something to just kind of keep your eye on. Yeah, so anyway, that's enough talking. As usual, if you made it this far and you like what you see, feel free to join me on my trading journey. And if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. And if you think the video is going to help somebody, if you think anybody that may gain some benefit from these videos, feel free to share. All right, that's it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.